Works Festival, how are we? Hey, what's up? Anyone in the other room? Jimbo's about to start. Come on in. Yes. I am James William Dillon, but Jimbo's my name. And something I need to tell you about me, just to give you a bit of an insight. I'm in the poetry clique. Oh, Works Festival, I'm going to need you to join in. And it only took, what? I'd say about a year and a bit. But that's not counting all the gigs I went to over the years where I would observe. It's not only the stage presence, the mannerisms, styles and unique set list you see. You. I've been watching you. Yeah. And you may have even fell for my clever ruse because I'd follow you. Yeah. I'd give you an uptick in views and maybe a like or two. And then you'd be like, who's this Jimbosmyname? Oh, he does some poetry too. And then a follow back and snap. You fell into my trap and now I'm being asked to do shows and gigs and even asked back to parties and poets' gaffs. Lads, I'm in the clique. Oh yes. Or at least I like to think. But that's like a blueprint to break into the scene of spoken word poetry. My name is now being mentioned alongside those I've tried to emulate habitually. You're rubbing shoulders with the same folks you could be shit talking with, pre and post rhythmic flows and prose, and honestly, in my experience, not enough of this. Yeah, the poetry cliques. They don't come out enough when you hear something that resonates or they're on stage trying to find the words to say, you see? It works. And I get it, you might feel a bit nervous to do it at first. You don't want to be the only one to start snapping. Not in the classical sense, like with anger and start shouting. Get off the fucking stage! We don't care what you have to say. Shame is he and he be rolling in his grave. Not like that. But a more jazzy type, a more chill vibe, like, yo daddy, yo. I like what you're spitting. The flows pour like hot chocolate and equally delicious. And if my cup runneth over, I bet you could dig it for the silky sublime rhyme styles. Oh, they're exquisite. Now let's revisit my poetic journey. I've been writing since you had to get on your tippy toes to reach a grasshopper's knee. Always appreciated great rhyming schemes, audible inhales, when left in disbelief, and always constructive when it comes to critique. But in the clique, it's not all upsides. I do have to proofread my messages more than a few times before I hit send. Find myself Googling the meaning of words again and again and spending an absolute fortune going into town on the train. And I'm getting analogies bounced out me noggin, leaving me jaw rocking like I was on it, and yeah, the buzz is bleeding whopper. And I listen to Leon Dunn most days. And Ryan Duggins is proof that Wolverhampton's loss is Dublin's gain. If I want to feel more feminine, I'll listen to Annie Peter or Quiva Weekly, and the pressure weighing on me is heavy. Kevin. And you'll find me pre-gig going on a walk with Barry. And you're not on your own here. And all this is written on the stage. Oh wait, I need to get some philosophy in there as well. Sorry, Phil. And all this is written in Adam Kelly's shade of his praying. So long may I remain in the clique. Oh, so how about when I finish, we replace those claps with a few poetry clicks. Let me hear your Works Festival. Oh yes. The crowd goes mild. Yes, I love it. Who's in that other room? Get your asses in here. This is great, isn't it? Thanks very much, Adam, for the opportunity. Free drink in here. I hear the poet Jeff is making sambos for everyone. What's going on with that? Is that just a rumour? Oh, yes. I need to tell you a secret. I'm actually going to be really clandestine. I'm going to tell you a real secret in the middle of this gig, right? So don't leave yet, okay? I wrote this one a while ago, and I'm kind of thinking back on it now because it's about me still being a young fella. But I'm literally only after getting over EP today. So I don't know, the bones are a bit bad, but I was chatting to me mate Clay the other day, and we came to the realisation that we're still young fellas. Sure, the tips of our hair that remain are slightly grey. A heavy night of drinking, that's at least 2 days recovery. But if you peel back the layers of this onion, feeling a little bit crusty, slightly stained, but we're still young fellas. I'll still stand on your wheelie bin so you can fit more shit in. I'm a young fella. Oh, what's that? You forgot your key? I'll volunteer to scale your extension, fit snugly through the window without pulling my hamstring. I'm a young fella. Until a group of kids call me mister. So then I have to try convince them, do a little kickabout, but then my bogey knee gives in. I have to go back into the gap limping to put some ice on that bitch, but I'm still a young fella. I walk around with the hands down the bags of my cotton cacks like a young fella, but in reality, I'm trying to push back in a hernia. Lads, you don't know who I am, Jimbo's my name. Sorry, pal, never heard of you. It's gas. I have to stop myself texting into the family WhatsApp group, letting them know what celebrity just passed. I'm outside the church saying, that was a good mass. God, stop. You're a young fella. I can nap like a newborn or a resident in an old folks' home. I still enjoy cartoons, but I feel like I've seen them all before. You know that one, you look out the window before you answer the door. Kids these days have no respect anymore. I've said that. Now, someone younger than me, they ask for advice. I'll do my best, mate, but I'm still trying to figure out life. I've become more vocal watching telly, but not just when the football's on. When a contestant picks the wrong drop zone. There's going to be slaughter if they take the lower offer. I've seen enough dodgy documentaries, I could get away with murder. This is a bit embarrassing. I had to ask my niece what yeet means. Do you know what it means? To throw something. I think I have riz. I don't know what that is. No cap. Unless it's a make Ireland grand again, huh? Look, I'm probably not a young fella, but not quite an old fella. If my math is right, it's not a mid, more like a third of life crisis. No sign of psoriasis or early onset Alzheimer's. Oh, shit. Yeah, you got it. I didn't want to forget that part. Oh yeah, I still have trustworthy farts. But like a Peter Pan joke, I never want to get old, wondering if I can be 60 and still be called Jimbo. But I'm a bit parched, because I know I no longer drink from the fountain of youth. My hands, lads, they get itchy when the plane lands. Salute to any magpies that make eye contact. I'm dodging those tracksuits for slacks, but I don't take selfies at a weird angle with my phone. I use incognito mode. And there's no pills with a blue hue found around my home. So I'm going to have to learn to love the time I've been on this earth. The past is gone, so I'm going to wrap myself in the present. Handful of vitamins added to my daily regimen. I'm trying to suss out Benjamin Button's skincare routine. You'll find me double dropping cod liver oil capsules instead of E underneath the blanket that's heated, those seats that bring you up the stairs automatically, and those machines that help with circulation. They now appeal to me. But I know you're only as old as you feel. My lavas, look see, they're callus free. So I know a good night's sleep and expensive hand cream will confuse my senses enough so I'm able to keep telling myself I'm still a young lad. Hey, thanks very much. Yeah, just a young lad. So this is it, right? I've never actually talked about this person during a gig before, but I thought the Works Festival was a good part to do it. It's someone that's near, but the opposite of dear to me, okay? It's about my neighbour. My neighbour is celiac. He tries to remain gluten-free, but I spend every Saturday flinging gone-off wraps into his tree. Like a frisbee. That's why he doesn't like me, okay? So I do it all the time, right? But one time I recorded it and put it online, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword because it's the best video I've ever put out views-wise, but it's also the most confusing. People were texting me, like, what's going on with you and your neighbour? Like, why does he hate you so much? My neighbour has not learned his lesson. He keeps ringing up the council stressing that it sounds like the noise from my gaff is like I'm teaching jazz lessons. And I kind of get it because I'm blasting jazz tracks and reciting poetry till all hours. But I don't appreciate the fuzz knocking in and stopping that. So I think a bit of batch. Some brioche buns over the fence will send a message that until he stops stressing me out, I'm going to do my best to ruin his digestion. Okay? So it's been going on and off. And I thought it all calmed down. I did. But I just can't stop myself from doing it. So after a long hiatus, I decided once again to frustrate our neighbour that hates us. This time with some extra thin bagels and wraps that come in multiple flavours. And I think it's outrageous that he would have the gall to blame us for this local area's ailments. He thinks he's the neighbourhood saviour. But I'm going to have to rethink my methods of gluten removal because he has started returning the favour. So I thought I was out clear, but he started getting the wraps and throwing it back to me. The Lynhams, what's up? How is? Yeah, he's getting them all in here. Fair play, Joe. So yeah, I thought everything was done and dusted with the neighbour, but it was all last year, but this is what I thought. I thought 2024, new year, new me. But I'm still going to fling mouldy loaves of bread into my neighbour's tree. And I know our beef was all the way back in 2023. And I was willing to let it all go. Look past the constant bad jokes. But his removal of missing cat posters is something that does not sit right with me. So I'm going to make this man's leaves into an avian bakery. And if he doesn't change his ways, this bread won't be the only thing with a past due expiration date. You know? So if you ever see my neighbour, tell him I don't like him, yeah? Come to my house, I'll show you where I live, and you knock into him. But the whole thing about the secret was, can I let you in on it, this little group of people here? My neighbour's not real. He doesn't exist. If you watch that video, that is me wearing a wig with a pair of glasses on. And I feel that I need to say that because there's been learned people that have said to me, what's going on with your neighbour? And I've been like, do you not know that's me? So this is the time where my neighbour doesn't exist. But if anyone asks you, or if you see another video of me throwing something over the fence, they're performing the best. I have thousands of views on them. So why would I stop? So he exists up here, okay? I know, your neighbour, he just doesn't exist, Luke. I'm sorry to break your heart. It's crazy, isn't it? Look back at the video, that is me in a wig. Something else you might not know about me is I'm a lingophile, which is a very unfortunate word for someone who likes words. You'd think of someone who likes words would come up with a better word for it, you know? But I put out to all my followers at Jimbosmyname, if you're not following already, what's your favourite word? Personally, my favourite word is conduit. I like the way it looks, I like the way it sounds, I like the way it's spelt, what it can mean. Heavy Kevy had a great one. Willy, which is a classic word. Coddywomple. Coddywomple is another great word, which means to walk with purpose to a vague destination. Nibblings is one that Adam Kelly gave us. Do you know what nibblings are? It's your siblings' kids, your nephews and nieces. I've used that so many times. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use all these words. I'm going to put it with a poem that I already have. So this is my followers' favourite big words. So please join me as I coddywomple to a dubious destination. Where we're going, we don't need roads or air codes, which might leave some folks bamboozled, truculent even. You see, normally my nibblings are gregarious creatures, but they have informed me if a veranda is not found immediately, there will be wigs on the ground. That might give you food for thought you can masticate on. Question, will he be chagrined? Hey, that's not me being facetious. My temperament might seem egregious to some people, but after you get to know me, I'll leave you with a tranquil feeling. Not like sinew between your teeth or swimming in a lake of feces. A pipette is being used as a conduit to drip feed epiphanies while you hang freely, like a dangleberry in the breeze. You know, I'm not going to say that word. My vernacular is quite spectacular. In fact, words I've accrued due to the adverse nature of my views would render your vocabulary feeling somewhat subdued. Me, I don't read religiously, but when I do, the thesaurus is the scripture I prefer to peruse to cut loose. Abate, abdicate. From this dais, or stage, my gateway to a more pinky finger raised, sipping tea for days kind of ways. See, my vocabulary wants to aggrandise to a lexicon far superior. It would cast a behemoth in its shadow quicker than you could say. Flocks and knots in a hill of pillification. Woo! You get that? Yeah, you hear that? Which you better not do to my artistic creation. And don't even fathom encroaching me with the flippant stipulation that my nomenclature should be subpar because of my socio-economic situation. It's fallacious at best, a glib attempt to scowl from an ivory tower. Paragon of poetry, pariah of artistry, pause the idolatry. For my inherent ability to act as my own vessel, which all big words can congregate and then proliferate. Burnish my body, for I am the living glossary. Yes, thanks very much. Okay, I'll do two more, right? So I wrote this one kind of as a PSA. So I do sometimes get asked at the end of my gigs, like, oh, how do you remember all that? How do you remember all that? I know what I tell them. If you want to know the secret, I'll tell you. You have to talk to yourself like you're schizophrenic. You remember blocks of sentences, yeah? And then the link that connects them together. Because my memory is far from photogenic. The short term, it's fucked altogether. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, unless it's something special. Do you ever have pancakes with rashes of maple syrup? Oh, it's delicious. And I know it's bad for me, it clogs up my arteries, but I worship the maple leaf. And that's not make-believe or conjecture. It's a tried and tested method. I'll use that along with other ways I'm about to tell you, and that's what helps me remember. Whenever I'm alone, I recite poems, and that's how it gets stored in the dome. Stanzas are manufactured in my hippocampus. The neocortex dictates what comes next. My grey matter is so full of poetic data that it has to push out useful stuff that actually matters. That's why I forgot your name at the afters. My neurons right now, they're on fire, because when you repeat what you write multiple times, the neuroplasticity makes words sticky and they get plastered to the mind's eye. Not an anatomy lesson, just my cerebellum saying, tell them how you do it. The spinal cord fluid transmits the movement to the tip of the tongue, teeth and the lips, sends messages so lucid, even if you were in an inebriated state, which you might be today, you'd still be able to understand what I'm trying to say. This advice is a game changer. My imagination is an idea incubator. Inspiration sparks on a daily basis. That's the neurogenesis, the Big Bang. If your plan is to write and you put that on the long finger, just try to slot a pen between them. Don't let the thought rot in a brain cell. And always, repetition, repetition, repetition. Oh, from the bedroom to the kitchen, folding clothes and washing dishes. A cerebral ritual becomes habitual, doing gigs for fake crowds in your living room. Get used to hearing your own voice. Record yourself and listen back on a loop. At first it might not sound like you. Who's this nasally stranger saying what I'm saying? Allow words to become code, embed themselves into your DNA. If it helps, close your eyes, concentrate. Pretend the poem is etched into your eyelids and your pupils could read Braille. And then if all else fails, just read off a page. Yes. I hope that advice helps. Is that right? Thanks very much. I'm actually sweating under these lights. It's nice though. Trying to lose weight. Okay, so this is going to be my final one. Yeah. So this is going to be my final one. This is the piece de resistance. This is the one. This poem has been very nice to me over the years. It's probably my best one, and I'm just living off it. Ask no one though, they'll tell you the truth. But I like doing it. So this is going to be my final one. This is Make Ireland Grand again. Just a heads up. I'm doing Dublin's Finest tomorrow. Anyone wants to come into Shin A? It's a nice line-up. It's a year since me and Julie took it over, so it's going to be a special enough show. If you want a lighter, I have a few on me. Talk to me after the show, alright? But this is Make Ireland Grand again. Thanks for listening. Yous are lovely. I want to go back. I can't say exactly to when. Not so far back when the spuds were duds. Civilians dying in the rise, and before Dáil came to order, or all the troubles on the border. I'd like to cherry pick the best bits, when Ireland was grand. I'd like to talk to those who built Newgrange, as how they timed the winter solstice to a T, when Oscar Wilde roamed the streets, or James Joyce during Ulysses. Celtic Tiger in its peak, and the only bust in sight was Molly Malone's. Whew. Everyone has a Tamagotchi. Italian 90 playing on the telly again, and fuck Scalacci. The night Christaborg seen red. Aspirations higher, Nelson dethroned and erecting the spire. McGregor, not when he was flogging whiskey to outfellas, when he was made champ and there was talk of putting him on the stamp and the coinage. The belittling of Rod Little. Oh no, even leave it bleed now. You wouldn't give a slip to Colester. And of course Celtic. What if Georgie Burgess got the snip? Gar Brooks has played some gigs. If Barry McGuigan had weak wrists or Johnny Logan had a lisp, we'd still be dancing in Billy Brennan's barn or around a pint of plain. If I drown in this nostalgia, these are the grand times I'd want to be found reeling in. I'd keep on up. I like it. You'd have Katie Taylor thanking God, another try by that lad bod, and less ATMs getting robbed. Pre-foot and mouth outbreak post, Henri's handball heartache. When the Pope came and kissed the land, that was grand. When we could withstand an orange weather warning, that was grand. When all the snakes were banned, that was grand. A time where everyone who wants it gets the shift. We all get taught French by the girls in Bewitched. The batter on your Bordeaux fish is always crisp. Fearless Paul Kimmage questioning Lance on his drug stance. Michael Flatley's ankles are wringing wet because of river dance. The 32 counties, if we get the chance. When the smell of our factories wafted through our streets, The mix of Cadbury's, hitting the breeze, blended with Tato's onion and cheese, perfectly in harmony. Father Ted gives every eulogy. And we stop mimicking the States. They want to be great, we'll settle for grand as long as their homeland is where having the crack originates without debate. Michael D is handled with care by the safe hands of Paddy Bonner so he can lay a wreath whenever we need him. The leaves are always in free fall on Raglan Road. No matter where you go in the world, there's an Irish pub. We communicate in wink and elbow code. If we live with the clarity of Padraig Pearse's pen, we will make Ireland grand again. Jimbo's my name. Thanks very much, everyone. Woo! Okay.